It is.
Seriously, you guys, this is the most important thing we do all year.
Registration! What you choose when you register affects our whole master schedule and what we're able to offer. So make sure that you're choosing wisely. It is so important.
Talk of the future like it's already the past. The talk of the future like today will never last.
Hey Vikings, I'm Angela Ribley and I will be your counselor if your last name starts with A through C, all grades.
Hello, I'm Emily Chilson, and for the classes 2023 and 2024, I have students with the last name D through H. For the class of 2025, I have students with the last name D through HD.
Hi, my name is Mrs. Wickland. I am the counselor for the letters I through M for the class of 2023 and 2024. And for the class of 2025, you incoming sophomores, my letters are HE through MA. I'm super excited to meet you all. See you soon.
Hello, guys. This is Tel Hernandez, aka Mr. T, and I work with students with the letters M, C through SD. If you graduate in 2025, for 2024 and 2023, I work with students with the letters N through SK. See you around.
Hi, Vikings. I'm Stephanie Lewis. If you are the class of 2023 or 2024, then I am the counselor of students with last names SL through Z. If you are in the class of 2025, then I am the counselor for students SE through Z. Thanks, guys.
Hi, this is Mrs. Wickland. I'm going to go through some graduation requirements and a few other things for you guys today. Getting out of high school means that you have to complete 24 total credits. So we have to get to 24 to get your diploma. And it's broken down to a bunch of different categories with some elective choices as well. So to start, everyone needs 4 years of English. So every single school year, you will be registering for English. Every student needs 3 years of social studies. That starts in your sophomore year with Modern World and goes on to your junior year with US and your senior year with Civics and CWI. All of those also have an AP equivalent to go along with them. You are required to have 3 years of math to graduate. We encourage that you take a 4th year if you are college bound or planning on going into a career that may be math based. And you'll be registering for the math class you believe is your next step. However, we'll be working with your current teachers for placement. And then towards the end of the school year in May and June, we will revisit that with your teachers to make sure that we have you guys in the right math placement. You need 3 years of science to graduate. It starts in 9th grade with physical science. 10th graders will take CCP or chemistry. 11th graders will take biology. And then as a 12th grader, you can choose to take more science, or you may be replacing that with one of your elective or personal pathway choices. You need 2 health and PE credits. One of those credits is done at CAV in the 9th grade year with your health and your PE class. The other credit needs to be done at LSHS and can be done any of the 3 years. However, we really encourage that you do that during your sophomore year so that you have space in your junior and senior year for potential other classes you may want to fill your schedule with. You all need to take 1 credit of CTE or Career in Tech course. We have a ton of different choices for that requirement, but you need 1 full credit to graduate. Below that, there is a spot that it breaks up into an or scenario. So you have to take 2 fine art credits, or you can choose to take 1 fine art credit and 1 personal pathway choice. And when I say personal pathway choice, that means any class that meets maybe your post-high school plans or a class that you were hoping to take for your future job. But it can be almost any class you choose here at the high school. Below that is 2 world language credits, or you can choose 2 personal pathway classes. So, for example, if I knew that I wanted to go from Lake Stevens High School to a 4-year university, I would choose the world language track for that. But if I was certain that my path is going to lead me to a community college or a tech school, I would choose the personal pathway choice and maybe take courses that fit the career that I want to be doing when I'm out of high school. So just be aware that the fine arts and the world language requirements have an or scenario attached to them. So you have some choice there. Beyond all of those requirements, everything else you take is considered a general elective. All of that will equal up to 24. So anything you take above and beyond those requirement areas will be considered a general elective. So if I took 4 years of math instead of 3, my 4th year of math would be one of my general electives. So that is the general, like, how many credits do I need to get out of high school and get my diploma, and what kind of classes do I have to take? So once you know that, then you need to think, what classes do I need to take? So if I'm a sophomore, I know I need to take English, social studies, math, science, and probably PE. But if I'm a senior, I may only need to take an English, social studies, and math and get to have some choice in my other 3 classes. So you might want to decide, is it going to require world language? Do I need to sign up for AP courses because that's the track I want to go? Do I have interest in snow while if I'm a junior or senior? Do I have a plan to do running start if I'm a junior or senior? Do I speak another language fluently and want to have the opportunity to take the world language test? So you have a lot of choices after the needs about classes you may want to take. One way to help you figure out what you have left to do would be to look on Skyward. There's a graduation table, and it lists all the classes you have taken, what you've completed, what's in progress, and what you still need. If you're looking at this and it's confusing, or you see something that looks a little wonky, come see your counselor and we will help sort that out and or answer any of the questions about it. So you've got lots of classes you need to take, but there's plenty of space for stuff you want to do. After you kind of made those decisions, you'll want to visit our online course planner, and we'll have a link on the video. We'll have links in our email and links in anything that we send out from this point forward. So on the course planner, it will list the courses that we offer with information about the course, if they're available for college and high school credit, if they're an AP course, what the prerequisite is to take that course. So make sure you're reading through which courses you actually meet the prerequisite for. On top of all the course information, it has all of our registration information, and it has a bunch of post-high school information, like how to get prepared for college or tech school. It will house our graduation information. So this is going to be a thing that you want to make sure to maybe tab this on your browser on your Chromebook so you can reach it anytime. It's a super important tool, and if you ever need help, can't find it, have questions, just reach out to your counselors and we will take care of it.
What is up, freshmen, soon to be sophomores, aka class of 2025? Okay, let's talk about high school registration and how to fill out your registration form. First, you need to know that this form is your number one primary communication tool between you and your counselor about what you would like to take next year. So you're going to pick an English class. Most of you coming out of English 9 are going to go right into English 10. If you're in pre-AP 9, that's the same as English 10. So our pre-AP kids are going to pick from English 11 or AP Lang. Okay, AP Lang and English 11 kind of hit the same pieces. So if you're an advanced student wanting something extra, that's what you would do. But again, if you're coming out of English 9, you go to English 10. For history, most of you are going to take modern world history for the year. That's your sophomore history requirement. But some of you may choose that added challenge of an AP course. Remember, AP is a college level class, and it will have a couple hours extra of homework each night just for that class. So if you feel like you're up for that added challenge and rigor and commitment, then you might be into AP European history instead of the modern world history. For science, most of you are going to pick CCP. If you're currently in biology, or if you're really excelling in physical science and algebra, like if you're getting A's and B's in those classes, then you might choose chemistry. That's okay too. But we want to make sure if you're picking chemistry, you've really got that physical science and math skills dialed. Otherwise, just take the CCP. In all real life, these two classes will meet the same requirement for high school and college admissions. For math, most of you will go to geometry. We go from algebra 1 to geometry. We go from geometry to algebra 2 or trig, and we go from algebra 2 trig to pre-calculus. So whichever class you're in now, you're going to go to the next one. If you're in geometry, you're going to algebra 2. If you're in algebra 1, you're going to geometry. And then 2 electives. We strongly encourage an elective your 10th grade year to be PE. The reason for this is there are so many other electives you can be eligible for and programs to be eligible for junior and senior year that don't really leave room for PE in your schedule. So it's best to get it done and out of the way 10th grade year. For your second elective, this might look like a world language if you're planning to attend a 4-year university. You do not need a world language for graduation. I'll say it again. You do not need a world language for high school graduation. So this second elective might be anything, right? It could be culinary. It could be sports med. It could be video production, whatever you're into. And then you're going to give us some good alternates because not everybody gets into their first. Some people don't even get into their second choice elective. So I need to know what else you like because we don't know you guys yet, right? So if you don't get into one of your elective choices, I'm either going to pick something random for you or I'm going to make sure that on your form, if you put down some ideas, I'm going to check that out first. But if you don't give me any alternate ideas, I'm going to pick for you and you're just going to have to live with that. Then there's some other information about graduation requirements and scheduling, warnings and heads up. This is an important process, so you want to read it all before you sign. And then this form will be due, completed and signed on February 17th. Okay, so everybody should be bringing this yellow form back completed on February 17th. That is when you will meet with a LSHS counselor to put your requests into Skyward and turn in your form and then get any other questions you have at the time answered. So if you need help filling this out, we'll be able to help you with that on that day. But we really would appreciate if you take a stab at it on your own first. Okay.
Okay, it's Miss Chilson here. So now that you've picked out classes and you've talked with your counselor and somebody at home about what you want to take for next year, you will have to enter your requests in Skyward for them to actually be official. So you're going to log into Skyward, click on Schedule, then click on Course Request 2022-2023 towards the top right of your screen. You do have to add the classes each that you plan to take next year. Check to be sure that it's 6 credits total. For some students, it may be a little bit more than 6 credits, but most people will have 6. Don't forget about alternates. So if you don't choose some other classes that you would still be happy taking, we will just have to pick for you because sometimes there are schedule conflicts and sometimes the classes are already too full. So we just really encourage you to pick some alternates and talk to us about if you're not sure how to find those. If you're done, you just click on the X and I promise you it will save. So the example on the screen is showing a sample sophomore schedule. For most students, you're really going to have to think about, do I have an English? Do I have a history? Do I have a math? And for most students, you're going to have to pay attention to, do I have a science also? So the other classes, please make sure that you have looked through the planning handbook and or talk to counselors and other people about what classes are going to be right for you. Okay, now you know about graduation. Are you actually registered? Our question is, did you do both? You must complete both the paper registration form and your Skyward course requests. So the paper form is what you're actually going to physically turn in to the counseling center. It lets your counselor know what you're registering for. It also requires a parent guardian signature so that we know you're talking about your choices at home. But Skyward is actually where you register for your classes. So the requests you make will turn in to your schedule, most likely. So if you're having any trouble with either of these steps, please make sure that you reach out to your counselor.
All right, guys, let's talk about what you need to know for graduation. A lot of times when students think about getting their graduation requirements checked off, they really just think about credits. But there's more to graduating than just earning enough credits. That's just one piece. There are both credit and non-credit requirements for graduation. And so I'm going to talk to you a little bit about those non-credit requirements right now. Those are meeting your Washington State history requirement, getting your community service hours, completing what's called a graduation pathway, and completing your high school and beyond plan. So the first three I'm going to talk to you about a little bit more in detail here. Washington State history. Most of you, if you attended CAV in 8th grade, you took a history class that included Washington State history. That automatically meets that requirement. However, if you didn't go to CAV as a 8th grader, don't stress. As long as you take and pass U.S. history with us junior year or civics your senior year, that will also meet that requirement. So we've got lots of ways available for you to meet that. Community service hours. Students are required 45 hours of community service. We like that to be done in 15 hours a year. So we don't want you to leave it all till your senior year and then try to cram them all in. In the past, those hours have been adjusted the last 2 years because of COVID. However, never assume that that's going to be adjusted. If you can get those 45 hours in, that is always better. So I would definitely be thinking of 15 hours a year and make it a priority to get those done. When you fill out those forms and you get them signed off after you've done your volunteer work, you're going to want to email those to Miss Terry Hopkins. And we've got a link actually attached to the community service form for you here. So if you're in this slideshow and you click right here, you can download that form, print a couple out, keep them on hand. Make sure you take them with you when you do your community service hours. All right, the last one I'm going to talk to you about is going to be completing a graduation pathway. And I know that this can be a little bit confusing because there's so many different ways that you can do it. But really, that's great. One of the main ways to meet this graduation pathway is to take and meet standards in math and English language arts on the SBA exam. So that's the first one that we have on here. So if you take that as a sophomore and you meet your standard, boom, you don't have to worry about it ever again. Once you have met that requirement, it is met. However, if you haven't taken the SBA or if you haven't met requirement yet, there's several other ways that you can meet that. One way is to take an AP or a dual credit class in either English or math. So there's 2 areas you have to meet, English and math. So if you take an AP English class or a dual credit English class and you pass that class, then that will meet in that particular subject area. Another thing that you can do is take either the SAT or the ACT. We do have minimum test scores that would meet those requirements as well. So maybe the SAT or the ACT is a better version of a test for you than the SBA. And you did better on that. If you meet the minimum test scores on the SAT or ACT, that will also work. Same thing with the ASVAB. The ASVAB is another test you can take, completely different style of test, might be easier for you, and you might meet that way. Finally, you can take 2 credits in the same CTE cluster. When you're looking through our course planner online and you're in the CTE section, you will see at the top different CTE clusters. 2 years or 2.0 credits within one cluster will create a graduation pathway for you, and that will check that off. Doesn't matter what you get on your SBA, doesn't matter if you ever take a dual credit or an AP class, that checks that off.
Hi there. We're going to go over how to complete your high school and beyond plan. The first place to start is to find where your high school and beyond plan is, and the access for that is going to be easily found on the Alex Stevens High School's webpage. So if you go to Parents and Students is the easiest way to find it. Scroll down to where it says High School and Beyond Plan under H, and then it's going to take you to a district link, and you're going to click on the link by the graduation hat. Then you're going to come up with the website to log in. So first thing you're going to want to do is make sure that you have Lake Stevens School District there. Then you are going to log in using your student number, and then the password is going to be whatever you use to access Skyward. Once you're into your high school and beyond plan, it's going to look like this. Now I am using another student's, and I am a teacher, so I'm able to access everyone's. So yours may look a little different. It will not have all of these links up here. It is going to have your name and your picture right there. And we're going to go through the different parts of the high school and beyond plan. The first are the profile questions about you. Who are you? You're going to talk about your skills, interests, values, personality, and dreams in this section. What can I become? Your hopes, dreams, or goals about a future job or career pathway, and this could change from year to year. How will I become that? skills, education, or training needed for your dream job. So if your dream job is to become an electrical engineer, how are you going to get there? What type of education do you need to obtain that particular career? This section is my goals, and this is where you're going to put those educational goals or career goals that you might have. And you might not have any if you're doing this as a ninth grader, but as a 10th grader, we're going to do a career research unit in your English class, and you may come up with some more ideas. The High School and Beyond plan is always a work in progress. And the goal for the high school, for your career interest is going to be putting those careers that you're interested in. If you're interested in mechanical engineering or cosmetology or dental assistant or an auto mechanic, whatever it might be, you do need to fill in all 3 fields. So wherever it says it's required, you need to do that. The next section is going to ask, what is your plan after you graduate? Is it to go to a community college? Is it to attend a 4-year university? This will come up with a pull-down menu that lists a 4-year college, 2-year community college, a technical school, the military, or get a job right away, or other. And you will select one of those at least. And you can put in more options if you'd like to. Once you pick that you want to go to a college, it's going to ask you what is your preferred college. So be that as a 4-year university or a community college or a technical school, you would pick the state and then maybe what college that you're interested in. The preferred areas of study are going to be the majors or those fields that you're going to study. So again, if you want to become an electrical engineer, it'll be engineering, whatever it might be. How will I get there are going to be some examples of things that you would do to get to that college, to get into the military, whatever it might be. If you're thinking of going to a 4-year university, you might want to take the PSATs. The SAT and ACT are not required for every college anymore, but for some colleges they are required. The ASVAB is the test that you're going to take to enter the military. College placement tests are going to be typically at the community college if you need to be placed into an English or a math class. Bridge to College courses is a specific course here at the high school. Dual credit course exams for our school would only include AP. So if you do plan on taking an AP test for credit, you would enter your score from 1 to 5, whatever it might be. Dual credit courses for college credit are going to be dual courses that we have here at the high school that you can also earn college credit for, typically at the community college, and you would just add the course. If it was one of our DECA program courses or something like that, you would just add that. Financial planning is primarily going to be taken care of in your senior year. Here in the Career Center, I have coffee talks where I'll go over how financial aid from the FAFSA and the WAFSA form work, what's the difference between a grant and a scholarship, what about student loans, different things like that. The assessments are results that are going to be noted here to make sure that you have met some middle school requirements. Experiences, this part is something for you to use for yourself, where you can put in work activities, work experience, volunteer experience, extracurricular activities, leadership awards, and honors. And the reason why I recommend that you start filling this out as you do these things, once you're a senior, and if you're planning on applying for a 4-year university or college and applying for scholarships, this is the type of information that they're going to ask about, and you'll have it right here at your fingertips. Personalized pathway is a way that some people will be graduating from high school and they have to do a personalized pathway, and they would need to do all these required boxes in order to fulfill that pathway requirements. 4-year course plan is where you can put in the courses that you want to take for your 4 years at the high school if you want to. I already did put in one English 9 class. This student that I'm using as an example is an 8th grader. So as an 8th grader, they're getting ready to register for 9th grade. Let's see what classes they could take for math. 9th grade math. Math is the class search. We're going to click on this, and it's going to bring up all the different types of math that are available. So maybe the student wants to take Algebra 1, and you would click on Save. This is just a plan. This is not what's going to go into Skyward for registration. It's only a planning tool. Okay? So that's kind of how that works. You can take these and you can move them. You could click and move it around to a different section if you're taking a course that maybe works for different classes. different class fulfillment, I should say, for credits. This part is going to be different things toward a graduation pathway that you can put on there. There's requirements that have a review requirement. So your counselor or me will be marking you off, and then we will also be seeking parent parent approval as well. One other thing that you need to do is you need to upload 2 things into your high school and beyond plan, and that is going to be a career survey that you will complete in your 10th grade English class, and also a resume that you will also complete in your high school English 10th grade year. You're going to click on upload files, and then you would just click on that button, and it's going to ask you to upload whatever document that you're looking for. You can also link it to a Google Doc or something like that. So that's pretty much your high school and beyond plan.
Remember, our webinar will be Thursday, February 10th at 6 p.m. It will include breakout sessions by grade and a live Q&A session after the webinar presentation. Also, remember that the webinar will be recorded and posted for those who cannot attend live sessions.
Whew, that was a lot. All right, so what happens next? We will be coming, all the LSHS counselors will be coming to Cavallero on February 17th to meet with you in person and collect your registration forms. So we're hoping between now and then you'll talk to your counselors, you'll make some selections, and then you'll bring any questions you have to your appointment on the 17th during your PE and health class.